stop what you're doing. Put down your phone, grab your popcorn, and brace yourself, because Jaguar Wright just detonated a cultural bomb so massive, it makes the Will Smith slap look like a light tap at Sunday brunch. I'm talking about a revelation so spicy, so scandalous, so earth-shattering, that if TMZ had a Richter scale, it would have exploded. Jaguar didn't just spill tea. She poured out the entire Starbucks, threw in a gallon of Hennessy, and set it on fire. And the target? None other than Sean Diddy Combs, the man, the myth, the mogul, and according to Katt Williams, the alleged king of the Hollywood circus. You thought Katt was just being outrageous when he ranted about Diddy's parties? Well, Jaguar just stepped up to the mic and said, nah, he wasn't lying. He was telling the gospel. This isn't reality TV drama. This is the kind of scandal that makes the Kardashians look like a Christian book club. If Katt was the prophet, Jaguar is the confirmation email you can't delete. The streets are buzzing, the blogs are melting, and Diddy. Let's just say he's probably somewhere wishing Wi-Fi never existed. Stay tuned, because what Jaguar dropped might just be the biggest career-smashing bombshell of the decade. The stage was set the moment Jaguar Wright opened her mouth. You know how most celebrities dodge questions, smile politely, and sprinkle in some PR-approved buzzwords? Not Jaguar. She doesn't do subtle. She doesn't do safe. She does scorched earth. And this time, the entire target was Sean Diddy Combs. Now let's rewind. For years, Katt Williams has been the lone wolf howling at the Hollywood moon, telling anyone who would listen that Diddy wasn't just a businessman. He was running an empire of secrets darker than a blackout in the Bronx. Katt would go on interviews, pacing, sweating, waving his arms, and spilling these cryptic, chaotic lines about parties nobody wanted to talk about. And what did people say? Oh, that's just Katt being crazy. They laughed, rolled their eyes, and filed him under paranoid comic. But then, boom, here comes Jaguar Wright, a woman who has nothing to lose and a reputation for tossing grenades into music industry boardrooms. She takes the mic and says, loud and clear, Katt Williams wasn't lying. He was telling the truth. The internet froze like it had just witnessed a glitch in the Matrix. Jaguar wasn't hinting. She wasn't dropping vague blind items like your typical gossip blog. She was naming names, painting scenes, describing atmospheres so vividly you could practically smell the expensive cologne and fear. According to her, those infamous Diddy parties weren't just social gatherings. They were initiation ceremonies. Career-making or career-breaking events where morals went missing faster than phones at the door. The way she delivered it was even more powerful than the words themselves. Calm, deliberate, measured, like someone reading out a confession in court. No shaky voice, no hesitation. Just a woman dropping napalm while the world watched. That's why it hit so hard. She wasn't ranting. She was testifying, and the internet lost its collective mind. Overnight, old Katt Williams interviews resurfaced like relics. Clips of him on talk shows warning about funny business in Hollywood went viral again, this time captioned, Jaguar confirmed it. Suddenly, the man who everyone dismissed as unstable started looking like the prophet of the entertainment industry. Saint Katt of comedy, people joked, patron saint of the I told you so. Fans became investigators, digging up old photos, videos, and interviews. They slowed down clips of artists looking uncomfortable around Diddy, freeze-framed handshakes that seemed a little too forced, and quoted lyrics that now sounded like hidden messages. Twitter threads turned into research papers, and YouTube became a courtroom with millions of self-appointed lawyers arguing Exhibit A and Exhibit B. But Jaguar didn't stop there. She dragged the entire culture into the fire. She pointed out how the industry loves to protect its darlings, how money and power can silence allegations for years, and how people who speak out usually end up smeared, broke, or blackballed. She made it clear. She knew the risks, and she didn't care. That kind of fearlessness is gasoline on the gossip fire. The first reactions were explosive. Half the internet hailed her as a whistleblower, a woman finally confirming the rumors people were too scared to say aloud. The other half called her crazy, unstable, looking for clout. But even the haters couldn't ignore the timing. Diddy's name was already floating around in lawsuits, whispers, and side eyes. Jaguar stepping in didn't feel like a new rumor. It felt like the final puzzle piece clicking into place. Suddenly, Diddy wasn't just a mogul. He was a suspect in the court of public opinion. His empire, built on decades of music, fashion, and influence, now looked like a glass tower under a hailstorm. No matter what he did next, the words Katt Williams was right would haunt him. By the end of that week, social media had already written the script. Diddy was guilty, Katt was vindicated, and Jaguar was the bold truth-teller setting the world ablaze. Whether it was true or not didn't even matter. The perception was enough. And in this age, perception is reality. Jaguar Wright didn't just spark controversy, she poured fuel on the wildfire Katt had lit years ago. And this time, the flames were too big to ignore. If Jaguar Wright was the spark, the internet was the gasoline, and the explosion that followed could be seen from space. The moment her words hit timelines, the world stopped scrolling and started screenshotting. It wasn't just gossip anymore. It was a cultural event. Suddenly, Katt Williams was no longer the crazy uncle of comedy. He was the Nostradamus of hip-hop. Every old clip of him clowning Diddy or warning about Hollywood's underbelly resurfaced like sacred texts. People who once mocked him were now calling him Prophet Katt, the man who told us all along that behind the bling, Bad Boy Records was more like Bad Boy Secrets. Memes crowned him with halos, wings, and captions like, "He warned us." Y'all just laughed. The celebrity reactions only threw more gasoline onto the fire. 50 Cent, never one to miss a chance to clown somebody, posted his usual cryptic memes. A couple of NDAs, a photo of a nervous intern, and a caption that basically said, "Jaguar knows." Twitter lost it. If 50's laughing at you, you're cooked. Other celebs played it safer. Charlemagne the God danced around the story like a man dodging live grenades. His radio segments hinted at a culture of silence, but you could practically hear the legal team breathing down his neck. Even comedians jumped on stage and started roasting Diddy. It became an easy punchline. "Man, I ain't going to no Diddy party. I like my phone too much." But the fans were the real stars. They turned Jaguar's confirmation into the meme Olympics. TikTok erupted with skits. POV, you're invited to a Diddy party, and suddenly the Uber driver signs an NDA. Twitter threads compared the scandal to everything from the Monica Lewinsky dress to Area 51. Instagram reels had people lip-syncing. Katt's old lines with captions like, "Who's crazy now?" It wasn't just jokes, though. There was outrage too, real outrage. Fans started petitions demanding investigations into Diddy's empire. Think pieces flooded Medium and Substack. YouTubers turned into pseudo-investigators, connecting dots, analyzing body language, and dropping exclusive theories like they were running a Netflix documentary series. The scandal wasn't just a rumor anymore. It became an entire cottage industry of content. And let's not forget the wildest part. Every single silence from Diddy made it worse. No statements, no denials, just eerie quiet. And in Hollywood, silence is blood in the water. The shark circled. The longer he said nothing, the more people believed everything. Meanwhile, Jaguar doubled down. She didn't backtrack, didn't soften her tone. She did interviews, went on live streams, and kept hammering the same point. Katt Williams told you the truth. She positioned herself as the fearless soldier, the one person too unafraid to be bought, silenced, or buried. And whether people loved her or hated her, they listened. Katt, for his part, played it cool. He didn't need to shout anymore. Jaguar did it for him. All he had to do was sit back while the internet elevated him from comedian to truth prophet. Every old stand-up clip, every rant, every interview got repackaged as evidence that he had been exposing Hollywood's dirty laundry for years. His fan base grew overnight. The man who was once dismissed as unstable suddenly looked like the only sane one in the room. The pop culture comparisons came flying in. People said Jaguar's Bombshell was the music industry's Snowden moment. Others compared it to the OJ trial. Everyone had an opinion, and nobody could look away. Even conspiracy theorists who usually talk about aliens shifted gears, saying, "Forget UFOs, let's talk about Diddy's house parties." The scandal spread so far, it stopped being just hip-hop news. Mainstream outlets started covering it cautiously, like they were poking a sleeping bear. Cable hosts referenced it in monologues. Blogs milked it for every click. And fans who didn't even know who Jaguar Wright was suddenly had her name on their lips. By the third week, it was clear. Jaguar hadn't just dropped a bombshell, she'd shifted the cultural weather. Katt Williams was vindicated, Diddy was under siege, and the internet? The internet was having the time of its life. When the smoke finally cleared, one thing was certain. September 2025 would forever be remembered as the month Jaguar Wright turned Katt Williams' comedy into courtroom testimony. The dust settled, but the fallout? Oh honey, it was everywhere. Oh honey, it was everywhere. First stop, Diddy's empire. For decades, he strutted around hip-hop like the final boss in a video game. Shiny suits, million-dollar smiles, champagne in one hand, NDA contracts in the other. He was untouchable, invincible, coated in a Teflon shield of fame and fortune. But after Jaguar's bombshell, that shield looked like dollar store plastic wrap. Every deal he touched suddenly seemed shaky. Every business partner side-eyed him like, wait, are we about to be next in the headlines? He wasn't just a mogul anymore. He was a walking question mark. And the memes did not let up. Screenshots of Diddy looking suspicious in old interviews circulated with captions like, "This aged like spoiled milk." People dug up every awkward clip, every side glance, every random party photo, and repackaged it as evidence. Whether true or not didn't even matter. In the court of public opinion, perception beats reality every time. Meanwhile, Katt Williams was basking in the sweetest revenge imaginable. For years, they said he was paranoid. They said he was crazy. They said he smoked too much and saw shadows that weren't there. But after Jaguar co-signed him, Katt went from Hollywood's crackpot to Hollywood's Cassandra, the prophet who spoke the truth nobody wanted to hear. His old interviews racked up millions of new views. Comedy stages turned into standing ovations before he even hit the mic. He didn't have to say, "I told you so." The internet said it for him. 1,000,000 times over. Jaguar herself? Oh, she became a polarizing icon overnight. Half the world called her a warrior, a fearless queen willing to torch the system. The other half labeled her messy, unstable, chasing clout. But here's the thing, love her or hate her, everyone was listening. Her live streams were packed. Her name trended on social media like she just dropped a platinum album. She had cemented herself as the most unpredictable disruptor in the game. If Katt was the prophet, Jaguar was the apostle screaming the message in surround sound. And let's talk about the culture. The scandal didn't just shake Diddy, it rattled the entire industry. Suddenly, fans looked at other moguls differently. What secrets are they hiding? Became the new conversation starter. Old rumors resurfaced. Whispers grew louder. The scandal cracked the door open to a conversation most people in power never wanted to have. The illusion of invincibility was shattered. Brands quietly backed away. Lawyers whispered behind closed doors. The air around Diddy's name became toxic, radioactive. People weren't sure if he'd survive it, but they were sure about one thing: he'd never look as untouchable again. For the fans, this was more than entertainment. It was vindication. They had been hearing the rumors, the whispers, the jokes for years. But Jaguar gave it weight. She made it official. And once that seed was planted, no amount of PR spin could unroot it. The long-term damage? Legacy. Diddy's name, once synonymous with success and swagger, was now linked with suspicion. Even if nothing legal ever stuck, culturally, the stain was permanent. He went from legend to liability in record time. And yet, here's the kicker. The story didn't feel over. If anything, it felt like Act 1 of a bigger storm. Because once one person speaks, others often follow. Jaguar cracked the dam. Katt started it years ago. And the internet? The internet is hungry for more blood, more secrets, more leaks. So, what's next? Will more celebrities come forward? Will receipts surface that blow the lid completely off? Or will the machine bury it all until the next scandal explodes? Nobody knows. But one thing is certain, Jaguar Wright changed the conversation. Katt Williams was vindicated, and Diddy. He's running out of places to hide. September didn't just give us drama. It gave us a cultural shift, a reminder that even the giants can bleed, and that sometimes the crazy ones are just the ones telling the truth too early. And in Hollywood, once the illusion cracks, the entire empire starts to tremble. And there you have it. Jaguar Wright just shook the music industry like a snow globe in an earthquake. She didn't whisper, she didn't hint, she dropped a bombshell so loud it woke up people who haven't cared about hip-hop since cassette tapes. She confirmed what Katt Williams has been screaming for years, and in doing so, she turned Hollywood's shiny armor into cheap tinfoil. But now, I'm turning it over to you. Whose side are you on? Is Jaguar Wright the fearless whistleblower we all needed, or is she just throwing dynamite for fun while sipping her coffee? Was Katt Williams the comedy prophet this whole time, or just the luckiest I told you so in history? And Diddy? Will he bounce back, or is his empire wobbling like a Jenga tower in an earthquake? Flood that comment section with your takes. Don't be shy. I want messier opinions than Diddy's group chat receipts. Smash that like button like it owes you rent money. Hit subscribe the way Jaguar hits a live stream rant. And ring that notification bell like you're waking up Katt Williams after a Red Bull binge. Because here at Scandal Spark, we don't just cover the drama, we ignite it. And trust me, this won't be the last. Hollywood runs on secrets, and we run on exposing them, exaggerating them, and serving them piping hot with sarcasm on the side. So stay tuned because the next scandal is already brewing. And when it explodes, you'll want to be here with us, front row in the splash zone. This is Scandal Spark, signing off with one last truth. In Hollywood, the money fades, the fame cracks, but the scandal never dies. The scandal never dies.